Welcome back to another episode of the 50% Doctor Who podcast. Whoa, today we can't wait to talk. Whoa. Connor, did you see that?
My God.
What is that? It's like some kind of time-space portal. Should we have a look? Should we go in?
My God, man.
Should we have a look?
Let's have a look.
Whoa. Where's Connor?
I'm a dog.
This is the 50% Dog Pod. Just go back. Let's go back. Whoa. What's going on here?
This is the 50% Primeval podcast.
Obviously. That'll do. I'll do. 50% podcast. 50% podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the 50%
Don't say it.
Primeval podcast.
Hey!
Whoa, you guys demanded it. You were knocking on the door. You were going bam, 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 bam. Where's the Primeval pod? Well, here it is today. Bonus podcast for you all. Bonus because we don't want our Doctor Who listeners to miss out on things. So we thought we'd do an extra pod. So if you're not into Primeval, you can just skip this pod. But if you like Primeval, I recommend we're going to do this once a month, I think.
Yeah, I'd love to.
To get through all 5 seasons.
I'm keen for series 2.
And so if you haven't watched Primeval yet and you want to be a part of the fun that we do here, I really recommend you go and watch it. We're going to spoil the shit out of it in this podcast. So go watch season 1 of Primeval, come back here, and then we're going to talk about it. Because I bet there's a lot of you out there that haven't watched it. I bet there's some of you that are keen to rewatch it along with us or something like that. But I think it's going to be really fun to go through and do it. This podcast, I think, has been at its best when we're doing like the rewatch of the things that we love.
Yeah.
So it's great to go back and revisit an old friend like Primeval.
You lucky people.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. It was great to revisit. I don't think I've watched Primeval, particularly series 1, for over 10 years.
Yeah, right.
So to go back into it was very nostalgia filled.
I'll feel that way probably in season 3.
Interesting.
Because I've done 1 and 2 quite. Yeah, recently.
I don't even think so I've seen the first 2 seasons and I've seen bits and pieces of series 3. I don't think I've seen any of like 4 or 5.
Okay.
So that would be unknown territory for me.
You've been warned for spoilers going forward, folks. But we are, excited to be talking about this. This show, it was essentially like a rival for Doctor Who, right? And I got a little quote here and a little bit of information for us, just to set the scene before we go in. We're going to go talk through episode by episode, and like we always do with Doctor Who, we're going to give a score for each episode as well.
Correct.
But a little bit of context here. So Primeval was produced for ITV. Season 1 premiered in 2007.
My God.
Obviously, it features time travel. It's like the homies going through time portals, or dinosaurs and saber-toothed tigers come through time portals into present day.
Yeah.
It's so like classic, isn't it? Like that's such a basic concept, but also GOAT.
I think it's a great concept. I think it's actually very smart.
It is.
It's really good. Like cracks in time.
Essentially that, yeah. It's Carly's crack.
Carly's crack.
It was billed as ITV's answer to BBC's Doctor Who. But the producers of Primeval constantly resisted any comparison to the series. And they were trying to be like, no, it's not like Doctor Who. Primeval's a bit more reality focused.
Yeah. Also a bit more, I would say, not much, but like a bit more adult.
It's closer to Torchwood than Doctor Who, I'd say.
Yeah, there's a bit of blood. There's mentions of sex and stuff. And
I think a big thing I felt whilst watching it was like, I watched that around the same time I was watching Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And I watched it as it came out, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's that thing where I feel like Doctor Who, I don't like the idea of when showrunners come into Doctor Who and they're like, we need to make it for the kids.
Yeah.
Because yes, you do, but you don't want to make them a kids show.
Exactly right.
Which is what I think Doctor Who's done in the past a few times quite recently.
That's what the Sarah Jane Adventures is for.
That's what the Sarah Jane Adventures is for. Doctor Who and shows like Primeval, you watch because you want to be like, oh, I'm watching something I shouldn't be watching. Like Primeval's, I think that's M. It says on the box there, but it's facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
I think it's M, but like the themes that they tackle and things like that are pretty it just feels a bit more like grungier.
It's edgier.
There's a bit of rock and roll music in there, things like that. Like,
yes.
It's a bit edgy, whilst not quite being as full on as Torchwood.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, something that I'd like Doctor Who to be close to. Maybe not as far as Primeval.
Sure.
Just to keep that, because they probably want to keep that PG rating.
Yeah, definitely a bit more edgier, and you know, I think it was kind of the perfect show for someone my age, you know, at the time.
Yeah, I agree. We were the right age for this. And
I'm very excited to talk to you about this. It's going to be very exciting.
I've got a quote from Russell T Davies on Primeval here.
Do you really?
I do.
Snap.
So Russell commented on the show back in 2007, criticizing Primeval's lack of ethnic casting as shameful, but then added, apart from that, I think it's excellent.
Very Russell.
It's very
shameful.
Russell. But it's
just shameful.
He basically was like, you homies need to diversify a little bit.
Apart from that,
it's pretty fucking good. Goosebumps. I have a little facts for you before we dive into the episodes. I want to, because we're talking about that, like Doctor Who and Primeval competing.
Yeah.
Right. I'm so hyped up talking about this.
It's exciting though. And I also did my research. I went through IMDb. I went through and I read all the Wikipedia shit and stuff. And it literally in the Wikipedia article, it referenced Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was created to be a competition for Doctor Who, which just shows, by the way, I think the hit that Doctor Who was, that they were looking at that show and saying, we want to make our own version of that.
Yeah. So the on that war, only once did they actually compete at the same time, as in like same broadcast time.
Airing at the same time.
So Planet of the Dead, the 2009 Doctor Who Easter special, aired, and halfway through that episode, and let's not spoil it, what happens, because people might not have seen it yet if they are going to watch Primeval for the first time with us. But
what episode?
So halfway through Planet of the Dead, season 3, episode 3 of Primeval.
Okay.
Which is the biggest episode of the whole show, I'd say.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's the only time they actually ever clashed on screen. But there was times where they were airing at the same time, but on different days. And it gets pretty close. And you can see they've quite cleverly spaced this 2011 year out, okay? So this was I went deep into some research today. So Primeval season 4, it's a weird thing where they shot season 4 and 5 back to back, and they only aired months apart. So it was essentially like a 4-part 1 and 4-part 2.
Okay.
I saw the vibe. So Primeval series 4 aired from the 1st of Jan 2011 to the 5th of February, 7 episodes. From the 23rd of April to the 4th of June, Doctor Who season 6 part 1 aired.
Okay.
And so there was only 2 weeks there where Primeval then came in with season 5 on the 24th of May. So there was still midway through the Flesh 2-parter, Primeval season 5, the final season, premiered, which ran until the 28th of June. And then on the 27th of August, Doctor Who 6 part 2 picked up. So there is like a quite, I want to say a quite strategic sort of little bit of a gap in there. I think there's a little bit of crossover there. But there's obviously other factors in the schedule that probably made that happen. But yeah, they never aired on, other than the Planet of the Dead, they never aired on the same day or anything like that.
Probably a smart thing to do.
Well, Doctor Who was Saturday nights, I think, and Primeval was midweek.
Okay. Okay.
That's my fun facts for you.
Interesting. Aiden's Fat Corner.
Well, I think if we're going to call this pod the show that tried to take down Doctor Who or something.
Yeah.
I figure we got to get a bit of that ratings war going on in there.
Sure. I think there's definitely a place where both shows can exist, you know, like a bit of a Barbenheimer, you know, like 2 big flicks coming out at the same time. Like, I think there's definitely a place for,
that would have slapped.
You know, both the shows.
Yeah. Do you think we'd ever get a Primeval Series 6?
I don't know. I mean, I was going to ask, so did the show get cancelled?
It did.
It did. Okay. So
it wraps up a lot in the season 5 finale.
Okay.
But there is still some loose threads. And there's some stuff in the whole show that does not get addressed for the whole show. And I kind of like it.
Cool.
There's stuff that you don't get solid answers for ever. And I kind of like that vibe of it.
And then they did the American spin-off. Is it called New World?
New World, yeah.
Yeah, Primeval
10
New World.
episodes set in America.
Yeah, and then I think that got cancelled
after one season. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Connor Temple
in the premiere.
Correct.
Yeah, I think I saw 1 and 2 or something of New World. I never watched the rest of it, and I don't think we'll be covering that on this podcast.
Same universe.
Yeah, the expanded Primeval universe.
Interesting. So like the Anonymies are happening in America as well,
which makes sense. Like they probably should have been the whole time, not just England.
Yeah, I think this is such a fantastic idea for a show, and it definitely got my attention. And I have the DVDs for the first 2 seasons, but I watched it on Prime. It looked like it got imported off some dodgy ass website. The quality
looks horrible on Prime
for a streaming service. The aspect ratio, it's almost like cropped in a bit too much.
It's
like
squeezed a bit.
It's like squeezed in, like almost like you've been on Final Cut Pro and you're like messing with your frame and stuff.
Yeah, when you told me about it, I checked
terrible.
it out.
Yeah,
because you were like, I can't believe how bad it looks on Prime, and I've obviously been watching it on the DVDs, but with this beautiful looking set as well. It looks fantastic.
That set I do remember. I think that's only a Series 1 problem though. I don't know if it was like an import issue or something like that. I don't know
have you checked the future seasons?
Yeah, I know. I haven't checked 2, but I know 3 is back to normal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think I owned the Series 2 DVD, and then ended up just picking up this bad boy a few years ago, and then intended to watch it the whole way through, and only watched halfway through season 2. So I'm excited that now we're gonna use the set to its advantage. So season 3 to 5, I've not watched. Season 4 and 5, I've probably not watched since broadcast. I don't think. What are you bringing up?
Just the Primeval Wikipedia page, just so I can go off episodes and stuff.
Well, yeah. Why don't you set the scene for us a little bit about Primeval, and you don't have to explain the concept because I feel like if people are here by now, they know what it is. But where does the show pick up? Introduce us to the world of Primeval.
So we start in it is a shopping center, like a mall, and outside, and suddenly a big dinosaur is running rapid.
To go scene by scene.
Well, it starts like that because of the Anomaly, which is open.
Anomaly
is open.
Anomaly.
I call them Anomaly. Ever since this is going to be a running theme for this whole rewatch show.
Yeah, we'll
is that I say it wrong? Is what I say it wrong.
Yep.
But that opens. And suddenly, we're bringing in the team of experts to take over. We've got Nick Cutter, we've got Stephen, we've got Connor, we've got Ben Miller's in here.
So we got
as Lester.
So we got. So Nick, he's like Professor Dinosaur. So that's why I never picked up when I was a kid that this was like a misfit team of people, like ordinary people that have been taken into an extraordinary circumstance. As a kid, I thought these guys were like the experts, but they're really not. And I kind of love that going, and it's got that misfit vibe.
Well, Nick Cutter is like a professor.
Yeah, Professor Dinosaur.
Yeah, Professor Dinosaur.
And then his sort of partner in crime, his little helper is Stephen, the bad boy.
The heartthrob. My mum used to love Stephen, would always say how handsome he is and stuff. So, he's the heartthrob and stuff.
Right, and then we've got yourself.
We do. We have Connor, which was so cool to watch. It's spelled wrong. It's not spelled like my name. It's 2 N's.
Wrong.
But, there is Connor Temple who... it was very cool to have a character who's a great character, by the way,
and in the whole show,
a bit of a nerd, a bit of an outcast,
and he's really not like that in real life. I actually watched the documentary. It's like 45 minutes long on the DVD about making season 1, and it's actually pretty cool. Like they talk in detail about like things going wrong and shit, and
like production wise,
interesting. So like for example in the finale, because it was at a time where there wasn't much money at all in TV, they would have like, so in the finale, all the like greenhouse scenes and things like that, I think they had like a data film or something like that.
Right.
And homie was like, we just don't have time. And VFX was such a new thing for TV as well.
Yeah.
So everyone was learning how to do it. And that he was like, the day's just slipping away, and they kept sort of updating throughout the day. And he's like, it's fucked. In the end, he just was like, we came up with a solution of how we're going to do it. And from them watching that, I watched that doco halfway through the season 1 rewatch. And from then I kind of picked up on a lot of scenes where it's like they do a lot just in one shot. And the camera might move around a few times, but they do it all like in one take. And it's not like an epic one-er, but it's like one shot moves and it becomes another shot. And so instead of having a frame up for two different shots, they do 3 or 4 different sort of setups and track it through one shot. And I thought that's probably one of the budget and time things was doing that. And also I think a much more interesting bit of filmmaking. I much prefer that sort of filmmaking. Yeah,
this season definitely gives off like first season like low budget vibes, but not necessarily always in like a bad way. I think it was like it's the underdog.
And
it had to prove itself,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, before we run too far away, what I was saying about that doc is Connor is a bit more of a cool guy in real life.
Interesting.
The actor. He was like, I don't know. I've never played a nerdy guy before. That was all new to me.
Yeah, cool.
He still seems nerdy in his interview, but you can tell he's not. Yeah. I don't know. There's a vibe. He's a cool guy.
His character is like awesome. Yeah, and having a character called Connor was, that really. Well, because kids at school will watch it, and it's like, yeah, Connor. I'm Connor. I'm Connor. How you going? Yeah, it's my name.
And then we have Abby.
Yeah, Abby. Yeah, from the S Club 7.
Ain't no party like an S Club party.
I know Aiden's a big fan. I enjoy a few S Club songs, but
reach for the stars.
Didn't you watch all the movies and stuff they did?
I loved the movies. I loved the TV show.
Crazy how like back in the day you would have like a group and they would have like movies and like
it was such a which really interesting and cool. But it was also a cool thing that like we've got cool Connor. It was also cool for me to like go up to my sister and her friends and be like, oh, you know that chick from S Club?
Wow.
She's in this Primeval show, pretty good.
I mean, it mirrors. Cool. Well, Billie Piper was a singer, and, and
like
girly.
Like Billie Piper, Harriet, I think, who plays Abby, no acting experience other than like acting as herself in the S
She's
Club
great.
Stuff. And she's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And like I was watching in her interviews, and she was like, I really like don't know how to act. Like I'm just being me. But like. Fuck, like the emotional stuff is so good. The comedic timing is excellent. Like she's great the whole way through.
Yeah, the casting and the characters I think is really great.
Yeah,
and that's what you need with a show like this. That's going to try and triumph Doctor Who. Mm-hmm. You need really good characters and you need really good casting, and it is like all around the board really great.
Yeah, and we have
Claudia
Brown.
Claudia Brown, great character. Kind of one foot in the door of being on Cutter's team, but also with Ben Miller's Lester.
Yeah, she's like a government official, but she's that gap between where she's sort of the voice of the government
exactly
in these situations, but she's also like, I understand that you guys need to do this dinosaur stuff your way, and we have no idea what we're talking about.
Let things
and
slide
also
I'm
kind of into you, Nick Cutter.
Yes, well, exactly.
Smash.
Yeah, particularly like later on in the season, it's like there's a line from Nick where it's like, "Have I ever let you down before? Don't answer that." But but it's like. I think she definitely gets this whole idea of like, this is unorthodox, but this whole situation is unorthodox. So you guys do your thing. Almost like a bit of a Sherlock Holmes showing up to crime scenes when he's not even supposed to be there. But he gets the job done. Like he finds out what's going on and solves the problem.
Yeah.
So
one thing I noticed is she's so written like a Stephen Moffat character. like when the first thing she does is go up and kiss Nick Cutter.
Yes.
And then there's the scene where...
At the bar.
Yeah. And there's the scene with the, the pterodactyl or pterodactyl spin-off where Nick's like, you got to take your top off. And she's like, what? And starts to undo it. And all that sort of stuff. It's so...
Yeah, it's so like this is the designer brand, like red like shirt and stuff. And like later on it happens again.
And speaking of that...
Very 2000s.
Very 2000s.
Yeah.
And speaking of that crossover with Doctor Who, both of us jumped ahead to look to see if there was any crossover because the shows came out at
of course.
such a similar time. Yes. We were both quite interested in it. Our first person was...
writer of Human Nature, Family of Blood.
Paul Cornell. He's in season 3. He writes an episode, I think.
2. It's the semi-final for series 2, which is a fantastic episode. So
which one's that? Is that in the theme park or is it?
I think it's like it's almost like a it leads. It's kind of a bit of a utopia. It kind of leads into the final.
Right.
It has the great scene where it's Lester versus the Future Predator in the office.
Right. Yeah.
Which is brilliant.
Iconic.
Brilliant.
And then also Helen Rayner writes a season 4 episode. I think it was
correct. Of Sontaran, Stratagem, and Poison Sky fame. Yeah.
And Face the Raven?
No, she does something else. I think. I can't remember.
She definitely comes back. Can you introduce us to the character of Lester?
Yeah, so Ben Miller is great. Lester, he's definitely a character in this season that is seen as like a corporate scum by the book. The guy you don't want to mess with is going to arrest you at any second. But I do know in like when I watched season 1 as a kid, I found like his character very annoying But I do know in later seasons, I think it's actually really good character work. I thought near the end of season 1 on the rewatch, I was like, are they gonna like start to make you like him? But they don't. But I do know in season 2,
later,
you definitely get to see a more human side, and he almost becomes part of the team almost, and is all for it. You know.
Well, season 2 has a bit more of a different dynamic in terms of they introduced the arc, which we won't talk about. That's season 2.
Yes,
and
become more of a team.
I think it operates slightly differently than the sort of government thing they have going in season 1.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, the arc. That's correct. Yeah.
Helen Rayner, she does Sontaran Stratagem, Poison Sky, and also does Daleks in Manhattan, Evolution of the Daleks.
That's it.
And also hops over to Torchwood, does Ghost Machine and To the Last Man.
Yes.
Should we go episode by episode through?
Let's do it.
I don't think we missed a character. Unless
Very
you want to talk
excited.
about Rex.
Rex, yeah.
All right, so, and the names for season 1 are fucking horrible. I don't know what because on the
that is true. Yeah,
on the DVDs they're called episode 1, episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are they called that on Prime?
No.
So they have these other names.
They have the names.
Interesting, because I didn't know if these names were just like random, like off the book.
Yeah, I have them. I have them here.
I've got them here. Sorry.
Cool.
Sorry, just knock over the set. Episode 1, Leaping Lizards.
Brilliant name.
So this is like our pilot where the whole. It's not really a pilot, I guess, but like it's a good episode. Let's just say that off the bat. We have a random dinosaur that I couldn't tell you what this dinosaur is, but it's got big teeth. It's coming out of the forest. And then you have little lizard Rex flying around in the air.
Not a Sabretooth?
No, Sabretooth is in a later season.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is not a Sabretooth. Sabretooth's a cat.
I don't really know my dinosaurs.
Well, you're not a dino guy.
Well. Not really. Which is weird because I really love this show. But
no, I was a dino
know the
boy.
Pterodactyls, T-Rex, that kind of thing.
Sabretooth is from the Ice Age.
Oh.
You know, like Ice Age the movie.
Yeah, I think I know with the Sabretooth episode in season 2. I think it's the opener, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't recall.
It just says here a strange creature,
the opening is Velociraptors in a mall in season 2.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like big dinosaur, random dinosaur on the loose. It has that great Doctor Who thing where it's like there's a kid that's caught up in this whole thing, and you go in his bedroom and there's a dinosaur coming through the window in his bedroom. It looks nuts, but it's that great vibe where like a kid could easily jump into this watching this show, I think.
Yeah, so I have a pretty cool story about episode 1. So I was living in Australia at this point, and in Australia we had a thing called UK TV on Foxtel. It would import all of the British shows.
Foxtel is like Australian Sky?
Pretty much, yeah, like Sky, yeah. And at this point, obviously, the first season had aired in the UK many months ago. We always got the shows back in the day. It would have been months later. Like you would get the seasons that come out. Like when Doctor Who would air in the UK, we would get it like months later on UK TV.
Yep.
But yeah, saw the trailers. I was like, let's go. This is great. Was very excited to watch it. And I remember I watched the first episode and I was so bummed out because I didn't like it. Didn't like it. It was episode 2 that sold me.
Right.
But episode 1, I didn't like.
I don't think I watched episode 1 on broadcast. I think I jumped in a little later in the season, and I remember going back to episode 1 and being like, "Yeah, don't love this one."
Yeah,
but I do think it actually sets things up quite well.
Kinda. I don't love it. I think in a way it doesn't necessarily even have like a main like dinosaur villain. I know the dinosaurs running rapid and like it's going in the kids' bedroom. It's got its face coming in and stuff,
chomping,
and there's Rex and stuff. But and there is a bit at the end where Stephen hits it with the car and stuff. But like with other episodes, there is definitely like the main like threat. And I feel like with this, it's mostly just like set up for like characters and stuff.
Which is fair enough.
I think it could have been done a bit better. But I think I do have that bias of, and all the nostalgia was coming back to me of like memories of how I fought back when I was a kid with episode 1. But I think it does a really good job at setting up all the characters, setting up the world, setting up the anonymies, which I know I'm saying wrong. But I think that whole concept for me was very exciting. And I think news had traveled that it was going to be like Doctor Who. And I was very excited to watch it.
Yeah, Doctor Who, but dinos.
Pretty much, yeah.
So we have a little baby Rex flying around, which is really cute. and Abby and Connor form a little bit of an attachment to her early on. It's clear that Connor gets the hots for Abby early on.
Love triangle.
And the one thing I guess we didn't really talk about earlier is there's a massive through line in this of Nick's wife,
Helen.
Nick's deceased wife, Helen, who is a big Finnish actor.
Oh.
She plays I think Sarah Kingdom, who's a character from the Daleks Master Plan.
Okay.
And I think she plays her in Big Finish, and she's like sort of been her own companion. I've listened to some with her actually in it.
Interesting.
And I remember listening to the behind the scenes, and she was talking about Primeval on it.
I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah.
That whole setup for that character. Is it the end of episode 1 that he sees Helen? I think it is. Yeah, that did kind of blow my mind as a kid. I was like, yo, what?
Like, and she's like lurking in the shadows. Yes. And he's like, what? It's great.
Yeah.
And the other thing that this episode sets up really well, because you're right. A lot of it, there's not a lot to talk about. It's just basic setting up all the characters. And we don't have time to go through beat by beat for the whole episode. But the big standout thing is then when they actually travel through the anomaly.
Correct.
It's so exciting when it's like a little excursion into it. And it's him and then whoever the nameless soldier is that he...
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that.
I didn't realize how much of a character he actually was.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, you actually kind of like him. And
well, it's like, I think they were trying to go for this whole idea, like, because he's in every episode and he's like the head of like the soldiers. The soldiers,
head of the soldiers.
I guess like they go for like a Sergeant Benson or something like that. But it doesn't really...
Sergeant Abram.
Work. Ibram, and he does fucking die at the end of episode 6. But it's a really cool... I forgot about this because at the end of episode 1, they find the camera, the picture of Helen and stuff, and they find the body. It's actually the body of that soldier. I thought that was really good, and I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, so did I.
So that was a really cool callback to the first episode. Mm-hmm. Again, like messing with like time and stuff. And like finding like the camera and stuff, and it's cool ending
in the finale when he like, frames up the shot, and you're like, oh my god, it's that photo.
Yeah, because I was like, oh shit, yeah, of course. Like, and I was like, yeah, of course. Like light bulb moment. Really it was clever. Like, yeah, I do remember this.
Really clever.
Yeah,
great. And then they come out of the anomaly, and they're all like, oh, okay, should do this again.
Yeah.
And then Connor sees his wife in the shadows.
Nick Carter sees his wife.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. That, you know what? It's a good ending, and I think that like I ended it feeling like disappointed when I was a kid, but I hadn't given up on the show.
Right.
I knew that I would have to. I think because Doctor Who instantly grabbed me.
Sure.
And I was so into it. Primeval, it took a little bit of time to convince me, but we did eventually get there.
Yeah. I think now watching it as an adult, I finish it going like I love the characters. They're set up in like a really I think these shows that have an ensemble of characters that they have to set up very quickly. I think shows, some people might call this lazy, but I think it's quite a clever thing when you have a few episodes to workshop these characters. I don't mind in episode 1 where you spend the time going, here is some stereotypes. And then we'll spend the next 6 to 10 episodes showing you how they're not those stereotypes. So I think Ted Lasso, for whatever you say about season 2 or 3, season 1's great. And I think the pilot, you watch it and everyone's a stereotype. Everyone is. But then as you go through the season, they start to break those stereotypes down. And I think it's such an easier way for an audience to watch a show because like you get a couple of maybe kind of cringy lines early on, but you're like, okay, I instantly know that Steven's the bad boy or Connor's the nerdy guy. Mm-hmm. Whereas, you have shows, some other bigger shows sometimes, I think, like Game of Thrones, where the writing is so, intricate and the characters are written so specifically, but you're sort of constantly like, okay, I don't know who this person is or what's what. Like, I don't mind this.
A lot of history as well that you don't know about. And
I felt like this was an easy jumping on point that just set up the characters nicely and set up like the threat of the anomalies nicely.
Yeah, and they really, I think they really do a good job throughout the first season of like continuing to build the characters and working on that.
Yeah.
And it's a lot less episodic than I remember. Like,
oh, fuck yeah. It's crazy.
Like shit does like from previous episodes, it comes up again.
Every episode there's a
impact.
A story thing.
It
becomes like a mini series thriller thing. Like
exactly.
All the stuff with Helen, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's like the love triangle and stuff, and Steven's memory going from like he forgets everything at the end of episode 2, and it's like it's brought up again in episode 3, and like I think they definitely it's a lot less episodic than I remember, and it's smart in a way because it makes you can't really miss an episode because you're going to miss out on stuff for characters. You know,
or like the larger mystery of Helen.
The larger mystery, yeah. So
which
I think it's done very well.
I think Doctor Who should take some notes.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what we liked about Flux, the sort of individual episodes, but an overarching thing. And maybe Flux is slightly too connected.
Sure.
But
yeah,
we like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What would you give Leaping Lizards out of 10? I'm
going to give it a 6.5.
Yeah, I'm going to give it the same.
This is so cool. We're doing a different show. Have you got a Primeval now?
I don't have a Primeval tab.
It's
in the Excel doc, it's in a tab.
Hey.
It's in the 50% specials tab.
Woohoo!
Where we've got the War Between Land and the Sea. We have all of our ranks in there. We've got sort of some of our win-loss predictions in there.
Okay.
Some of our pre-shows, our class special.
The special tab.
Our spin-off with Who's There. And other little random ones. The 250% on the road pods we did.
Oh.
Great episodes of the pod. Take me back. 50% Oscars. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a little spreadsheet here that has just everything, every episode of the pod in it, what we talked about, and every score that we've given an episode of Doctor Who. And it's broken up doctor by doctor, and then the spin-offs all have their own tab. And then 50% specials is my dumping ground for...
One day we'll print it out.
Yeah, we'll make a poster for it.
Big poster.
Like the... what's the fucking chemical table called again? Why can't I...
Oh, the periodic table?
Yeah, like the periodic table.
Yeah,
it'd be like that.
Yeah, with everything on it.
All right, mate. Episode 2, Underground Infestation. Introduce us to this episode 2.
Yeah, so this was the episode that sold me on the show because I have an irrational fear of spiders, as I always say. And they're kind of spiders, but they're kind of not. They kind of say they're like a spider mixed with like a scorpion, I believe.
Well, it's a bunch of different big insects.
Yeah, it's like a prehistoric like being.
Yeah.
You know, and the spiders aren't necessarily like the main. They're kind of like in the first half. But yeah, so it's like London Underground, which I always found so cool. Instantly sold me. Spods in there. I kind of love the whole like sending down the crew and stuff. Torches, dark, murky. Giant
centipede.
Yeah, giant centipede, kind of gross. And, you know, when they see the anomaly again, this is going to be a Congo thing. When they see it again, it's like, it's very exciting because it's like, yeah, like even like the characters are like, holy shit, like this is happening again. And it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
Like there's a great shot at like it kind of like pans, like you see like the characters like reaction to it before you see the actual like anomaly and stuff.
And that little anomaly theme as well.
The score is actually, I like the score.
It's fantastic.
I really like the score.
In this episode, there's a scene where they rock up to the anomaly, like when they're driving up and about to go into and investigate the underground.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got like the Primeval theme, but like not the title version. Like it's a more like...
Yeah.
It's like if you played the Doctor Who theme in Doctor Who, it wouldn't work. But they do like a rendition of the theme.
A rendition.
That really works in the episode, and it's just sick.
Yeah, and we have like, you know, it's like, you know, Lester's character, you know, it's like it's still very reluctant, like kind of like hates Nick and doesn't like that he has to use him.
Yeah.
But he's the expert.
He's the pro, my guy.
And like sends him in and stuff. And yeah, I do remember... I remember not being sold on the first episode and then watching this and being like, I'm in. Like this, it was weird rewatching it now because going in with like a lot of hype. And I wouldn't say like, it's like a great episode, but again, I think there are a few teething problems with series 1, which I think is like understandable.
Yeah.
And I can kind of like let it slide. But yeah, this is the episode that like sold me on the show.
Yeah. I actually maybe did watch 1 and 2 live, but I think they might have been a bit more like of a passive thing because I think 3 is the one I really remember. Yeah. I think 3 was my 2 for you.
Okay.
Like that was where I was a bit more locked in.
Yeah.
But because I remember not loving... Because I watched Prehistoric Park as a kid, which
Wasn't this kind of... I read a thing where it was like, weren't they trying
to... Bit of crossover with the team, with like the production team.
Right.
And same with Walking with Dinosaurs.
Right, yeah.
And... Prehistoric Park, there's a great cameo of Prehistoric Park later, which we'll talk about in season 3. But there's an episode of Prehistoric Park, which is Prehistoric Park is essentially a show where it's definitely more of a kids show. But Nigel goes back in time. Humanity creates time travel. They can go through time portals, and they go through time to bring creatures into the present day. So it's sort of reverse Primeval, where Primeval are like, shit, they're in present day. Prehistoric Park, they're like, all right, let's go back and bring them to present day, and we'll make a zoo out of it. And I think the last episode, they all break out of the zoo, and it goes a bit nuts. Like there's Velociraptors running around and shit, I think.
What a series final.
Yeah, great. Only one season, 6 episodes.
Damn.
I think that's what happens. And it's all like documentary style as well.
Wow.
So like they're like interviewing like the chief. We should do a Prehistoric Park pod.
What's the Doctor Who connection?
They're like interviewing like the head of park operations, and he's like, "Oh fuck, there's dinosaurs out everywhere. We're fucked."
Yeah, shit. Like a mockumentary type.
Yeah. But like educational.
Yeah, cool.
But I think the second last episode, they go to like the same period where these insects are from, and it's all giant insects, and giant insects are the threat. I think I'm right in that. And so I remember being a bit like, all right, I've seen it before. I didn't love it in Prehistoric Park. And now we're here and doing the same shit again. That was my sort of reaction to it.
Yeah. I do remember, I have such nostalgia of watching this at like home with my parents are obviously like walking in and out of scenes and stuff. And because Abby keeps Rex, she has to keep the apartment like warm. And she's like dancing around in her like underwear and stuff.
Just taking her clothes off.
As a kid, I was just like, yo, I think that's another thing that like, Doctor Who wouldn't do.
Yeah.
So to like see that, I remember my mum walked past and she was like, like she was like, I don't know if you should be watching this. I was like, well, let's just see how it goes. It's like shit like that. Like,
what was the word we were saying instead of erection in the last pod?
It was it's
arachnid.
Arachnid, which makes sense for this episode.
You were
like,
why is my arachnid out?
It's arachnid. It's an arachnid episode.
Put your arachnids away.
It's an arachnid episode. I don't think they never did spies again, did they?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I feel like it's so creepy. That the creepy crawlies and stuff, and like a lot of people have like fears against spies and stuff. I'm not alone in that category.
Yeah.
So. And then I guess like when I was younger and still I guess now, like when it comes like more of like a big, was it a centipede? Is that what you said?
Big centipede.
Centipede? Like obviously like the CGI is pretty ropey, but I do understand. I actually do agree. Sorry, I do actually appreciate. That they kind of like they knew they didn't have a huge budget, but I think that their thinking was like, if we get a season 2, we'll get a bigger budget. And the show's CGI will just get better over time. And I think for the most part, it works. It's hard for me to judge CGI when I'm watching the potato quality on Amazon Prime.
Well, on budget, like, yes, the CGI is, up and down. I think generally it's okay for the time period the show was made in. But what I'll give the season is the production value of when they go into the past. And they obviously must go to Spain every second day when they're filming, because all the location filming looks fantastic. And we'll talk about it in just a second in episode 3. But I love that stuff. I think it looked fantastic.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And rewatching this now, it's like it's definitely like a nostalgia trip. And I think the London Underground stuff was great with Stephen as well at the end, like going in and he gets like attacked by the centipede and stuff, and he has this moment and he sees Helen as well, which he thought he just hallucinated, but actually it's real.
Helen cameo
Helen
alert. And then Abby's like, I want to fuck you, and he's like, I'm concussed but I love you, and that's sort of how it ends. But there's a great scene with Nick, and he gets given a gun, and he's like, "Fuck that shit." Like that scene.
Yeah, well, he's he doesn't want to mess with the nature and stuff, and I think that does add to his character as being kind-hearted, and he actually does care about the animals and stuff.
Well, I think it's more like he gets given the gun, and he holds it, and he's like, "What the fuck am I doing?" Like he literally waves it around, like what? Yeah, and it's just that reminder of like, these are normal people.
Yeah,
like this is your fucking dinosaur lecturer.
Yeah.
And someone's just given him a gun.
Yeah.
And he's literally holding it like, what the fuck is it? Like, what? You have that one back?
Is it in this episode? Connor's like, I always wanted to be a part of like a ragtag gang of like a team. Can I have a nickname and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know, it's funny. One thing I will say with the writing can be quite cheesy sometimes. When you're writing a nerd, big mistake, don't say this. There's a scene in the beginning where Connor's with his mates who come back in episode 4.
Oh, it's so bad.
And he's like, I swear on my signed Star Wars poster signed by Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, why would you say... Why would you say the character name and not Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill?
But also, like, so there's that, because then it's the classic, like, oh, they didn't want to say Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill because then the viewers might not understand who they're talking about. But
people don't know Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford. My God,
because Luke Skywalker and Han Solo are more recognizable names.
Sure.
But it was also like those scenes in that episode. It's a bit better in I think episode 4 when they come back.
Absolutely.
But in that episode 2 scenes, it's like every sentence that comes out of their mouth.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't believe this is like in Indiana Jones when this. It's like,
what about Battlestar Galactica marathon?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
What do you want to give Underground Infestation out of 10?
Definitely better than episode 2, but we've still got some way to go, Aiden. I'm going to give it a 7.
All right.
I'm going to give it a 7.
I am going to... It's a 6.5 or it's a 7. What is it?
It's up to you, my dude.
What is it?
It's up to you, my dude.
Is it better than episode 1?
Yeah, I'd say.
All right, I'll give it a 7. We're on par for both at the same.
I want to say as well, so the first 3 episodes, are directed by Celia Ware and also written by Adrian Hodges, who is I would say like the main head showrunner. He does write the final episode of series 5 as well. So he's like the main
guy,
and he writes the final episode as well. He doesn't write episode 5 and 4 and 5, but he does come back for the final as well.
Series 1 was filmed in 2 filming blocks, so they did 1 to 3 and 4 to 6.
Yes.
Which when they were talking about in the doco, they were sort of saying like this was a bit of like a new thing having to do these filming blocks,
like the block stuff.
Yeah, because there was so much VFX and things to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Another thing to add with that is like with the VFX stuff, like the actors are always having to act against something that's not there. Yeah, which would have been very hard.
And in the doco, they say it's so funny. They were like, it was something. Yeah. It was now. I think actors that come into that they know how it works. But with this really early like TV VFX CGI stuff, they were saying like they had no idea what was doing. They do takes where like everyone will be looking in other directions and they'll be like, oh shit, we gotta do that again, and we've got to be like, okay, we all look there now, and then we look there now.
It was like us filming the opening for this episode. It's like, look here, look there. Yeah, don't look in the opposite direction.
Yeah, right. You're right. So Adrian Hodges writes 1 to 3.
Yeah,
and then 6. And then there's some other writers doing 4 and 5.
Yeah, he kind of in seasons 3 to 5, he's not there as much.
Sure.
He only co-writes, I think. Like every episode in season 3 to 5, he only ever comes back with a co-writing partnership.
Yeah, he doesn't have a single credit in series 3, which is surprising.
That's it. And then in 4, he does 1, which is co-written. In 5, he does the final, which is also co-written.
Yeah, I think The Worm's a good episode as well, that one. And then, he co-writes the finale, the last episode.
Yeah, the last episode, which is cool that he comes back.
The End of the Future, part 1 and part 2.
Part 1 and part 2, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I'm excited to get there again. Okay, so let's move on to episode 3. The names are so bad. Episode 3, Helen Makes Contact.
Do you think they added episode names like later on after it came out?
Well, that's what I think.
Yeah,
because I think they were just episode 1 to 6. That's why the DVDs they don't have episodes names. They're just episode. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Because they're so. But even like in like episode 3, sorry, even in season 3. So again, not saying what happens. Season 3, episode 3, it's called Medical Mayhem. And I know why it's called that, because there's that subplot that it starts as.
Sure.
But like, come on,
mate. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Kind of fun though.
Yeah. 4 and 5, they get like more normal names, I think. But, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Introduce us to Helen Makes Contact.
Helen Makes Contact. Okay. So this starts at a pool. And we get introduced to our first water dino.
Oh, yeah. It's the
bit
classic,
of a croc.
Season 1, and it's good. They do the classic thing where it's like, you've got your big dinosaur, you got the bug one, But then it's like, okay, water dinosaur, flying dinosaur.
Yeah.
Like they do the whole.
I like that though, because like as a kid, like that. This is when I started to really love the show. Where I was like, oh, it's so cool because there could be like anomalies with like the water, and they could be in the sky.
Yeah.
Like that's when I was like, yo, this is actually really sick. And I love in this episode as well, like because it's the water is being drained through the anomaly and stuff.
So the anomaly rocks up in the bottom of a lake at one point.
Yes,
and that they can judge it a bit because they can see the tide goes up or down?
It's going down. Yeah, like I think Connor mentions that the like lake or the river is like it's going down.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's a water dinosaur flopping around on the loose.
Correct. So the first anomaly opens in the pool, but then it goes, and it's very cheesy but so iconic. And I have such great memories of I was like, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But I also think it's so great for like a kids show or a young adult show, I guess you could call it. For when, like, you're in a swimming pool now and you're not even safe in there.
Yeah.
So
What's
good.
Yeah.
Because when I went into the pool afterwards, I was like,
it could be a dino in here.
What if there's a dino in here?
Jeez.
So good.
Yeah, this one I remember being the one that sold me a bit. So one of the ones I remember watching quite a bit when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Watching it now, I think it's still really solid. I don't think it's like a mind-blowing episode, but I still think it's really solid. Is this when do Connor and Abby move in together in this episode, or is the next one?
Not yet. I think that's that episode 4.
Sure. Okay.
But there is the love triangle starts happening because Stephen mentions his girlfriend who had been away traveling for 2 years.
Yeah.
But he had confessed that he has the hots for Abby.
And I think he wakes up in the hospital at the start of this one.
Correct.
And
yes, he
that's
does.
when it's like, oh, I don't remember anything I said to you, Abby, in the heat of the moment in episode 2.
Or seeing Helen.
Very true.
Which again is like really cool for like, with like continuity and stuff, and it does make you want to watch every episode because like if you just start episode 3, you'd be like, what's going on here? Like what's happening?
Yeah. So big floppy dinosaur in the water flopping around. They realize that. Does he know that Helen's in there and that's why he goes? Or he goes back and he sees Helen?
It's really cool because they do like the scuba dive and stuff.
Yeah.
And
one of the scubas gets eaten.
Yeah, which is classic. Like it is very cheesy, but like you know what, damn it if it ain't fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like
right.
I don't remember about the whole Helen thing. I don't know if she comes back in this episode for anything huge. I think she's
they do.
She is in every episode.
It's a big thing in this episode. Yeah, the episode's called Helen Makes Contact.
Yeah, am I forgetting? Like,
so he goes through the anomaly.
Yes, of course. He comes up on like the shore and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes.
And she's waiting there.
Yes.
Swimming around in a bathers.
Yes, correct.
She's like, "G'day."
Bruv. Yes, correct. Yeah, and they have those like almost like pelican type things that are like on the shore and stuff. Just like look scary, but they're stupid. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and so they talk, and that's the first time they get to interact.
Yes.
Which is so cool because it's like, it's his dead wife. And I think I love the like weird situation he's in where he's like, you've been alive this whole time and you've sort of been around and had a chance to talk to me, but
yeah, for like 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're still technically married.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So all that stuff's great there. And then he goes to like swim back and the dino fucks him up and he's like starting to drown and they like pull him back in.
They pull him back, yep.
It's all emotional. Everyone thinks he's dead.
I do remember that there's a water beast episode in season 2 which I remember is a lot better. And I think it's in the Thames, I think.
I'm trying to remember what that is.
Yeah, I think it's episode 2, I think.
Alrighty, what will you give episode 3, Helen Makes Contact, out of 10?
I think that I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Okay, back down to a 6.5.
6.5, I'd say not as good as episode 2.
Yeah. Well, you know what? No, I'm giving it a 7.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 7.
Okay.
Our first diversion of scores.
I did want to say as well, I'll just say it as well. So for the first episode, it got 7.09 million viewers. For episode 2, it got 6.29. And for episode 3, it got 6.17. So pretty good numbers. Not a massive drop off from episode 1.
It's really funny when you look at the full show numbers. So Series 1 got an average of 6.39 viewers. Series 2 got an average of 6.29 million viewers. Series 3 got an average of 4.99 million viewers. Series 4 got an average of 4.03 million viewers. And then Series 5 got an average of 0.67 million viewers.
0.67?
Yep, 6.7. It's because
that's an abysmal fall off.
It moved from, it's over 4 mil. Well, no, just under 4 mil. It moved from ITV to Watch, which is like a free streaming service. Don't know what happened here. They must have paid for it because it got semi-cancelled after season 3 for some reason. Then there was some new deal that renewed them for 4 and 5. And maybe this Watch company was involved because they were filmed together. So, yeah, curious.
Interesting. That is an abysmal fall off, but
yeah, like, but I think it's like it's a network that no one watched.
No,
is the vibe. So
probably a bit too before maybe streaming services like Netflix and shit were taken over and stuff like that.
Because it has to be something big like that because for like season 5 came out like 3 months after season 4.
Yeah,
and season 4 averaged 4 million viewers. So you don't get less than a million viewers. You don't lose over 3 million viewers.
No, that doesn't make sense. Yeah.
So there's something fishy going on there. Episode 4, Dodo Madness, is a great episode. This episode where Dodo's come out of the anomaly. Connor's nerdy friends, they...
For a second there, I thought you were talking about me.
Yeah, your nerdy friend, me. And he's Ginger.
Yeah.
It's me and Dan.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there. They're like trying to find out what he's up to. Dodo's come out. They steal a Dodo. Dodo bites me. And then I become like infected and possessed. And the only negative I'd give is the possession when he gets like the blue glowing eyes. That is interesting.
It's a little too sci-fi.
Like a possessed, almost like
it's too possessed. I don't mind the parasite taking over him because the Dodos have a parasite inside of him. So when they bite me,
that makes sense.
He gets the parasite inside of him. That all sort of makes sense enough. But yeah, the blue glowing eyes feels a bit too sci-fi. And in the end, when Connor cradles him, it's so emotional. And this really was a moment. This was an episode where I thought Abby was fantastic because when she's watching it and she's like crying, I thought that was a great performance from her.
Yeah. So this is the Jamie Payne block. So he does the last 3. And this episode was written by Richard Curti and Bev Doyle. So funny.
Timu Richard Curtis.
Yeah, when I first saw Richard K, I was like, what's going on here? It got 5.81 million viewers. So this was an episode that has a particular soft spot in my heart because when I was watching Primeval, I was now sold on it as a kid watching it on UK TV. And my parents would walk in and out of like watching and stuff. And my dad particularly, he's always been very critical about shit that I watch, like particularly Doctor Who. He was like, this show fucking sucks. Like, I remember in episode 1 where the dinosaur was like sticking his head through the window and stuff. He was like, this is really poor. This isn't good. And my mum also was like, this isn't a very good show. But I remember I used to go swimming after school. And my dad took me
even after episode 3?
Even after episode 3, where it was like perfect. Like I said before, like going swimming and stuff. And I came home and my mum said, I just watched the best episode of Primeval.
Oh yeah.
Boy, don't the Brits make great TV.
You had taste back then.
I was like, no shit. So she loves this episode. So when I rewatched it this week, I think I watched
your mum said that?
My mum said that.
Wow. Okay.
My mum said that. Yeah, she was like, I get it now. Like, I was like, yo, no shit.
Nice.
So I have a very soft spot in my heart for this episode. And I also think, with these writers here, I think they come back in series 2. I could be wrong. But
they do together.
Yeah, together. Because I think they're a really good writing team. Like, generally, like.
I guess they are.
It's an emotional episode. It brings back Connor's friends, which I think makes the episode 2 appearance a bit less cringy.
Yeah.
And it definitely downplays the. I think there's a bit at the beginning. It's like, it's pizza night. We're gonna watch Battlestar Galactica, and it's like, okay, just get the pizza on me and stuff.
Yeah.
But Connor's friends, going in and not believing Connor about working with dinos and stuff, and he's doing some top secret shit.
Yeah.
And then them stealing the Dodo, and it biting Connor's friend here. I think it's Tom or Duncan. It says Tom and Duncan. It's one of them. The one that looks like Aiden, who's ginger. And Yeah, I agree. I think apart from the eyes, I think this is the first time I'm like, I think you can see like the greatness of this show.
The real potential. Well, no, the first ones have shown potential, and this is using that potential a bit more.
Yeah.
And it's again a great similarity to Doctor Who, where Who has those episodes of the weeks, but then it breaks up those episodes of the weeks with a Wobbly on.
Yes,
where it's a smaller scale character based episode.
Break the formula.
Primeval does this a couple times throughout the show as well. So it does have that same thing, and I think it's a fantastic episode. It's really funny with the Dodos. It's so funny when they're trying to capture them.
That was the scene that sold my mum on it. She was like, there was a scene, it was so great, where they were trying to get the creatures back in. It was so great. Yeah, it really, and there's like a poppy song playing and stuff.
And we should say Helen was captured at the end of episode 3.
Yes.
And then so she's in captivity at the start of episode 4. And then she's like, I'll tell you where an anomaly is going to rock up.
In
and
the
that's
kitchen
how they
in the stadium. Yeah.
And then she runs off into them and they go into the Microsoft screensaver field with all the anomalies in there.
Yeah, it's like there's a great line where Steven's like, I couldn't chase it because it'd be like running into like mirrors and stuff and going to different realities and stuff. And great episode. You're so right about like the break of formula and stuff. And I think, an episode like this is a bit risky because I think it could definitely like, maybe some kids were bored and stuff, but
where's the dinosaurs?
Well, exactly. It's like, it's a different form of stuff, but I think this episode is very important for this season, and it's a great placement, episode 4, and it's emotional. Aiden dies at the end, and and it works, and I think the
that should have been us scared at the start.
Where me,
you, and Dan.
Hey, leave the Dodo alone. Yeah, I do. I think it's really good, and the actor who plays Connor, his name escapes me, but he really sells that scene as well. I think he's really good, and there's that scene. It's like it's kind of like when he's dying and stuff. When Aiden's dying, like the team are just kind of just sat there watching. It's like they don't really know what to do. It's the first time they've seen someone like who's close to the team, someone who they care about. Yeah, there's nothing. And I couldn't remember if he dies or not. And I was like, I remember thinking when on the rewatch, I was like, if he dies, this will be impactful. If he doesn't and he gets like cured, I don't think this episode will work as well. But the fact they actually
commit to it,
go through with it and kill him off.
The scene with Cutter and Connor at the end is so great. And he's like, you did him proud, and he gives him the hug. Like, it's so, Cutter's like, he's not super standoffish, but he's not like a super emotional character or anything.
No.
Like that.
Well, Connor says he's going to quit, and he's like, no, you ain't. Yeah.
And when he sort of locks in with him at the end, and he's like, he would have fucking loved this.
Yeah.
Great ending there.
Again, it's like a different dynamic, and I think it's a unique episode. It's like, I don't think almost like with the team being so different to something like Doctor Who, it's unique.
Yep.
And I think this is definitely a great episode for Series 1 and an episode they needed.
Yeah, I agree. Break it up.
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
8.5. Wow.
You heard me.
I'm going to give it maybe I should give it an 8.5 actually. Yeah, I will. I'll join you. I'm copying you today.
You go, girl.
I was going to go 8, but I'm like comparing it. I'm looking at Helen Makes Contact, which I gave a 7, and I think it's more than 1 point better than that. So 8.5. Hey, before we move on to episode 5, another little bit of trivia for you.
Go ahead.
I'm wrong.
About what?
Well, we were saying we got Paul Cornell and Helen Rayner involved.
Yeah.
There's one other Doctor Who writer. In
Series 1?
No. But I mentioned Face the Raven. Who's Face the Raven written by?
Oh, fuck, it escapes me. Sarah Donald?
Sarah Dollard. She writes the 5 webisodes that were used to promote Series 4 of Primeval.
I've heard about the webisodes.
Yeah, I remember watching them as a kid. I was going nuts for them.
We'll have to watch them when we get to Series 4.
Yeah, they're probably on the DVD.
Well, they probably would be, yeah.
Yeah, she writes the 5 webisodes. All came out on 23rd December 2010.
That's it.
She writes them all. So that's so crazy because obviously webisodes, it must have been such an early career thing for her. And then you look 5 years later and she's writing a Doctor Who episode.
Yeah, I think Doctor Who Series 2 did webisodes as well on the Doctor Who website and stuff.
TARDISodes.
Tardisodes.
Yeah.
My apologies.
For fuck's sake, Connor.
Sorry. My
Come
gosh.
on, mate.
I'm sorry.
All right, mate. We've now got Terrible News, which, in my opinion, bar the interesting name, is the best episode of the series. I love this episode. This is the one with the pterodactyl on the loose in the golf course.
Written by Chris Lang and directed once again by Jamie Payne.
That's it. Connor, a sentence of your thoughts?
Not my favorite episode.
Right.
Not a fan, really.
Really?
I'm surprised you said that, Aiden. I've lost a bit of respect for you.
We were going so well, so on par.
I'm sorry. I think this episode, I almost think flip it. I would say do Dodo Madness as the penultimate. I would say. I don't know. I think after episode 4, I think it was such a highlight for me. This one, I do like how the anomalies in the sky.
Yeah.
And I always love pterodactyls and stuff.
It's like, it's flying dinosaurs. It has to be in the sky.
It has to be in the sky. I like how they're like, there's definitely like an anomaly here, like, but where is it? Like, you know, we're getting all the readings of it. It's like, it's up above. Like, that is really cool. It's very cheesy when it starts with like the golfer and stuff, but it's fun. Like,
it's fun.
You know, it's a lot of a it's a Cutter and Claudia episode.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, it's like there's also fantastic scenes with Connor and Abby.
True.
But I think
when Rex escapes and stuff, and
yeah, because I remember really enjoying this episode, and then when I was rewatching it, last week, I was like watching the start of it and thought, it's good, but it feels a bit too episode of the week. I was wanting something more. And then it just felt like 20 minutes in, it just took this shift where it just went nuts for me. Like, Claudia Brown, you can never say just Claudia. It's always Claudia Brown.
Yeah.
Claudia Brown.
Golden Brown.
She goes blind for the episode.
Yeah.
And like the whole like horror thing of her being in this mansion with all these like pterodactyl bat things, like a swarm of them flopping around. And
I'm still blind.
Very nice. And she can't see them. It is so great. And I love that. And like Cutter's there trying to save her. When Helen saves her, it genuinely surprised me.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, she's back.
And that has implications for episode 6 because now, Claudia knows that like Helen saved her and stuff. And, And we didn't say as well, episode 4, that's when Connor moves in with Abby.
Yes.
And they've got a little bit of tension at the moment. Again, there's this love triangle going on with like Steven and stuff. And they didn't know that Abby kept Rex.
Yes.
And in this episode, it gets revealed because Connor takes Rex to the golf course and then Rex escapes. This episode I think is very good for like trailer shots. I always remember watching the UK TV and there's that shot of like Carter like getting chased by the pterodactyl and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
I think particularly with like the CGI, I think was not even that bad in this episode. I think
good.
It works. It works really well. But I think it does kind of almost become like a bit of like a Alfred Hitchcock's.
It's the birds. It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like a big swarm.
I wanted to be the wanky cunt. I was literally watching this episode and I was like, I'm going to make a bit where I get real smug and go wanky and go, it's giving Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
Thematically,
but it really is.
By Alfred Hitchcock.
It is a very clear, especially in the mansion, the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a very clear The Birds thing.
Yeah. My dad showed me that as a kid and it just, the scene with the man and his eyes plucked out, I didn't sleep for weeks.
Yeah, it is all that kind of thing.
Yeah. And I Nick's got like almost like the flamethrower with
he makes a flamethrower,
the gas bottle and stuff, and like
sick.
Generally, like what, like I'll give them credit for this. Like sometimes I'm like they can like force relationships and stuff, but I do think that like the Claudia and Nick stuff is actually really good. Like it works. It works for me.
I think I would have liked a bit more like in the previous episode if there was a stronger hint, because there was hints. Like the first scene is them kissing, right? But it felt like all of a sudden we were on and we were doing this. And I liked it and I believe it, but to believe it that tiny bit more, I think there maybe needed to be like a tiny lead in or something, or even just at the start of this episode, like a stronger hint about it. It just felt like when, she goes blind and they kiss or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, we were going to get here, but it just felt like we jumped there really quick, I thought.
Yeah, I will say this as well. Like, it's awesome to see Ben Miller in this show, and I think his character is great. I do get the impression though that he's definitely like the biggest cast actor on the show, and like his scenes are almost, you kind of get the impression that he filmed them quite closely.
Probably, yeah.
Like because they can't have him for that long.
Yeah. I literally was thinking about this.
Yeah. But apart from that, like, you know, I think his character is really good, and you know, Claudia is in this again, like this almost like her own triangle, not a love one though, but it's like, you know, she is kind of stuck between, it's like, you know, being infatuated by Nick, but also being, you know, in this whole like government facility and stuff, and you know, a bit of sexualization, you know,
big time. It's a very Moffat episode.
Yeah.
There's a hilarious scene where, so when she jumps up, she knocks a blood bag on the floor, and it's like a close up of that, and you're like, all right, that's coming back.
Yeah.
And then like she stands on it. There's another close up, and you're like, oh, there you go. That's why it's going to come back.
Yeah.
But then there's a shot where she falls on it, and she gets like stuck on it, and she's literally like, help me.
Yeah.
And she's just like rubbing it on herself,
and it's like, that's going to come back and haunt you. Yeah.
Very funny. Love the ending of this episode. Because, like I was saying at the top of the show, it's a bit more rock and roll Primeval, and there's some good music choices in there, a bit more than what Doctor Who does. Doctor Who's like, every second season you get like a banger song to end an episode or something like that.
Sure.
Whereas, Primeval has them like every second episode. And
it's more punk rocker.
Yeah, it's my kind of music. Yeah. The whole show is like more me. It's a bit more rock and roll.
Put on the Wombats.
That's why I want us to be like rock and roll Doctor Who podcast, you know?
Oh, I see now. Now I get it.
Yeah.
You mean Primeval podcast?
Shit. But when they're like waving the red flag to get the pterodactyl in there, and there's that great song as the pterodactyl like flies back, and it almost feels like
that is a great scene.
I love shows in like the second to last episode where like you just get like the fun moments, and you're like, okay, this is the last time we're going to do this before we're going to tear you apart in the finale.
Sure.
You know, and it just felt like a wholesome thing where we've had 5 episodes.
A good team moment.
We've built up this team.
Yeah.
And it was just a fantastic, wholesome way to end the episode.
Yeah, the
and
stick
they're all
with
cheering.
the red flag at the top. You know,
they all
it's
clap
like,
when they get it back through.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And whilst like episode 6 isn't like a heartbreaking episode, but I guess
the stakes are higher. Yeah.
The stakes are higher, and from that episode onwards, the team is never the same again.
Yeah.
For season 2.
Yeah.
So I loved it. Really liked that episode.
Yeah.
What would you give it out of 10?
I'm going to give it a 6.5.
I'm giving it a 9.
Ooh,
really like it.
Oh shit,
really
boy.
like it. And I don't know if a 9 in Primeval compares to a 9 in Doctor Who. Probably not.
Different,
but different canons.
Different canons. You always say when you like Sarah Jane, you know, it's not the same. It's not really the same with like ratings and stuff.
Different stuff. Connor, talk to me about the series finale.
Series finale.
Future Foe.
Which is a cool episode name. Directed by Jamie Payne, written by Adrian Hodges, who's back. He did the first 3.
He's back.
This is the Future Predator episode, man.
Yeah, the first appearance of one of the most iconic things in Primeval, the Future Predator, which is also
probably the most iconic, I would say.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's such a great.
It's a great idea to do a creature from the future.
Yeah,
it's so wise.
Yeah.
So talk to us about this episode.
So
Connor,
this
what's happening?
The first episode where we see that the anomalies can actually bring creatures in from the future, not just from the past, which Helen explains. And a lot of shit goes down. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like as an episode, like you know, it kind of like there's a bit of like zoo shit and stuff, and you know, it kills a lion, which I found very heartbreaking to see. I don't know. I mean, like a summary. My mind's kind of going right now, but I guess it's like the team are being pushed to their absolute limit. I would say.
Yeah. But I can see why your mind's a bit fuzzy. I think it's a bit of a messier episode.
Interesting.
I don't love this one.
Okay.
I think there's great scenes in there. And like the idea of the Future Predator is awesome. Claudia Brown has like flashbacks, or she's having like kind of like trauma visions or whatever of the monsters coming up. I like that. At one point she sees herself and she's an anomaly.
Yeah.
But it's great stuff that leads in towards what happens in the last scene.
Sure.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the Future Predator like saves the episode.
Yeah.
Because they're honestly, if I wasn't already like sold on the show, the Future Predator shit was awesome. I remember I went back to England for Christmas in the year that I watched the show.
Oh yeah.
And my cousins, this episode was it was like a rerun on like ITV.
Sure.
And I was like, I love this show. And my cousin was like, yeah, I know the Future Predator and stuff. It was like, okay, like there's a great scene. It was a scene we were watching. It was in the car with Connor and stuff. I do like how it doesn't have eyes. It just hears.
Yes.
And it's like there's a like the vision of the Future Predator for like the sound waves is great.
Yeah. Oh, it looks awesome.
Looks awesome.
Great thing.
The sound design is awesome as well.
You were saying this block is directed by Jamie Payne.
Correct.
Which again, I knew this name fucking rings a bell. He directed Doctor Who.
Oh god.
He directed Hyde and Time of the Doctor.
Time of the Doctor?
Yeah.
Damn. Regen episode.
Yeah. Jamie Payne, baby. But he does a great job in this episode. I think it's great. The horror vibes of it are great. The emotional vibes are there. I felt like having watched the behind the scenes doco before rewatching episode 6, I felt like I could see a little bit more the time push that they were maybe on.
It would have been a very hard job as a director, I think, to do this season 1. You knew it would be a hard job.
And I think it's me just being picky and having watched that doco. I don't think it's a criticism of the episode.
Sure.
I think it works really well. I guess for me, I didn't like the fact that they killed the Future Predator relatively easily.
Yes.
So they were saying in the doco, they were like, if we don't film this right and if we don't have time to film this, the whole series doesn't work. Because it's the big climax where we need to have a big face-off with the Future Predator and we don't have time to film it. And I do think that's sort of what happened because it's a great way that they kill the Future Predator.
Isn't it the dinosaur from the first episode that comes back? I'm pretty sure it is.
That is later on.
Right.
That's in the future because so they have the male version of the Predator who they find out later is the one that looks after the babies.
Correct. Yeah.
So when they're in the greenhouse, the Future Predator comes in and Nick Cutter kills it by confusing it by shooting the glass and it makes all the sound waves and then he's able to kill the Future Predator.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to do it, but it felt slightly too easy. Like I think I needed a bit more cat and mouse. Like there is scenes of it in the zoo and things like that are good beforehand, but a bit more drama there and tension, I think would have worked a lot better. And then it's so then you're sort of like, oh, that's it, they're done. But then it's also like that weird thing where it's like, oh, that's the end of the second act, and then there's a whole third act that is slightly separate but also connected because then they go through the anomaly, but then the anomaly doesn't take them to the future; it takes them to the past, specifically where they were in episode 1,
which is great.
Yeah, it's like episode 1, but a few years earlier.
Yeah.
And so they go through there, and it's all the same locations, and that's when they realize that the Future Predator, that was the dad that looked after the babies, and now the mum comes, and so that's when the mum versus the dinosaur from episode 1, which was a cool face-off and a cool I feel like it's a cool nerdy moment to be like,
oh my god! Before I forget, take a shot every Wilhelm scream.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up.
I was going to forget saying that.
It's in episodes 1, 2, and 3. I think it skips 4. It's in episode 5. And it's
multiple times in episodes.
In episode 6, it's 3 times.
So good.
It baffles, and it's so funny.
Wow.
You can't be doing it more than once in an episode.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
I don't know if it was like, they were like, this would be funny, or they didn't have any other sounds, but like...
We need that on the soundboard for it.
Wow.
I don't know whether it's like early TV as well, where they were
I don't know.
Especially the director of 1 to 3, like, she's maybe like, like, I got the vibes like mid-40s, late 40s.
Right.
And I was, she's a bit of a slightly older, and maybe she doesn't know the memes. And it's sort of pre-memes as well, the Wilhelm scream, you know what I mean? Like, so maybe they were just like, oh, cool, scream sound effect. Put that in.
Even as a kid, I was like,
realizing.
It plays a lot, because I heard it in Star Wars all the time, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's in every Star Wars episode, like, once.
Sure.
It's like they always use the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
And in Indiana Jones and stuff, and you hear it everywhere.
Classic.
But yeah, no, the Wilhelm scream's great. Yeah, I get what you mean. And like, I think, again, like another example of like the show being more violent is that like that dinosaur from episode 1, it fucking eats the babies. It's quite graphic. It's quite graphic. And it's quite sad. Like when they kind of it's like, it's disturbing, and they sound creepy. They sound like when they first walked in and saw the babies, it sounds like pigs. I was like, are there piggies in here? It's like,
That's scary.
it's like Like the for me, I thought that even when I was younger, the future predators are like Primeval's answer to like, it's like, this is our Daleks. Like, this is our...
And it is, because they came back every season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is our main... This is... And I think you're so right what you said about Nick killing it too easily, the first one.
Yeah, because then you're like, it becomes easy to kill them in the future.
Exactly. It's like, you know, they're supposed to be the Daleks were, when we first saw them in Dark, it's like, it's the unbeatable foe. That's what makes them so terrifying.
Yeah.
But so I still think that it works very well.
I'm curious. Yeah, it does work really well. I'm curious, like, what changes in the future seasons that made them, or was it just great? You know, like, because I'm watching it now, like, oh yeah, cool villain, cool vibes, cool it's from the future, cool it's like invisible or whatever. It's invisible, right? Or
it can't. It's blind.
It's blind. Yeah. Where'd I get invisible from?
Well, it sees through. It kind of gives that kind of impression, I guess, because like it's like it sees through like sound waves and stuff.
Yeah. Threw me off. But like. Yeah, I wonder if there's a point in like one of its return episodes where like either like it gets a new power, maybe it becomes invisible.
It does.
And like maybe that's when we start to be like, oh no, this thing is a real threat and really scary.
Yeah, I won't say that something happens in series 2. Yeah, I do remember that because it was so cool. I was like,
very cool. Like, go invisible.
I ain't saying shit. Yeah, but that like generally, I can't give them enough credit for like the design is awesome, the sound, like they're terrifying. Like, and the name Future Predator, it was like so terrifying.
Good name.
Like, I went to school and I was like, yo, this shit's so sick. Like, and
you wouldn't believe what I was doing in last week's Primeval.
You'd never guess.
Connor was up to crazy things.
You'd never guess. Connor Temple, that guy, I love him.
And then obviously the last scene. So
yeah, I forgot about this when I was watching it.
I know it because this is the big thing that like it comes back. But it is one of the big Primeval things that you never get a solid explanation for.
Interesting. And I forget how they handled it.
They handle it in season 2 and 3 a bit. So it doesn't go unnoticed, but you never get like a full stop on it. You know what I mean? Which I really like with it because I love it's a time travel show. So to say they come out of the anomaly and Claudia Brown doesn't exist. She's not there.
Where's Claudia?
The same crew's waiting on the other side of the anomaly, and when he goes back in, she's not there anymore.
And only Nick remembers her.
Only Nick remembers her, which is great plot point going into season 2. And really good on what the whole sort of skit was at the start of this pod about. With us going into different realities.
True, yeah, and also Helen, before running back into the anomaly, breaks the news that she
fucked Steven,
yeah, and
the soldier dies,
and the soldier also dies.
A lot happens in this last 10 minutes.
Yeah, but she says that about Steven, so there's that big reveal which I know comes into play in series 2.
Yeah, I didn't actually remember it being addressed in the finale. I thought it was a series 2 thing.
Again, more edgy than Doctor Who because they're talking about like sex and stuff. There's even a line in episode 3 where it's like Steven's girlfriend's coming back. They must be having like tons of sex.
They must be bonking all the time.
He literally says it's like they must be having like non-stop sex. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more edgier.
Doctor Who would be like, they must be having heaps of, and the Doctor would go like, no, don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it.
Yeah. So
out of 10, mate. Out of 10.
I would give this episode a 7.5. Yeah, I think this series is definitely, it's got teething problems, but I can definitely see the promise of the show, and it was so fun to rewatch it.
I too will give it a 7.5.
Exactly, Aiden. Exactly.
All right, guys. So now this is the time of the episode where we get our total series score. We add together the ratings that we have given throughout the season to find out what the mean score is of the average of all the scores we've given. Connor, what do you reckon yours will be and what do you reckon mine will be?
I went a bit low. Maybe lower than I thought. So I'm going to say, I reckon it'll be 5.7. And you, I reckon 6.2.
Connor, I don't know how you get to your scores, to these scores
that
you have in your head.
It's beer math.
It is beer math. But you never gave anything.
It's fucking late, man. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You never gave an episode below a 6.
I don't do math.
Your lowest is 6.5, so there's no way you could even get below 6. 0.5.
Do you know who had the lowest math score in our year in year 12?
Yeah, okay.
Me. That's who. Someone's got to be last.
Well, Connor, I gave Leaping Lizards a 6. Please name this.
What a great episode, though. Yay.
I gave Leaping Lizards a 6.5, Underground Infestation a 7, Helen Makes Contact a 7, Dodo Madness an 8.5, Terrible News 7.5.
What does that even mean?
Pretty Terrible News, maybe? I don't know.
I like that.
And so Pretty Terrible News a 9 and Future Foe a 7.5 with a total series score of 7.6.
For me?
For me. Which I'm pretty happy with that.
That's pretty close.
It's in that sort of...
It's in the same ballpark.
Maybe not quite like the A that is an 8, but...
I like the saying it's in the same city.
It's in the same city. I like it.
It's in the same city.
Connor, you gave Leaping Lizards a 6.5, Underground Infestation a 7, Helen Makes Contact a 6.5, Dodo Madness an 8.5, Pretty Terrible News a 6.5, and Future Foe 7.5, giving you a total series score of a 7.1.
Okay, breaking the 7.
Slightly less than me, but you broke the 7.
Spot on, Connor. You got it right.
7.
6, 7.
Hi guys, did you enjoy our Primeval podcast?
We hope you did.
We hope you did, because I really want to watch season 2 now.
Yeah, me too.
And we will probably definitely, I can imagine, do it, no matter how bad this performs.
I always remember...
When the Doctor was me.
I do... you got to throw in some Doctor Who references.
I've tried to do that a few times.
Yeah, a few times. I always remember... I did read that Series 2 was not critically as well received as Series 1, but I always remember... enjoying Series 2 a lot more.
I am the same, but I do think, put it this way, when I did my rewatch, when I bought this box set a couple of years ago, I stopped halfway through Series 2. And I think we'll hold our final thoughts until we actually review it and do the rewatch, but I think it's a bit too episodic. I think it doesn't have the great through story that Series 1 has. Yeah. That's my thoughts. And then maybe the finale is a bit like Two Avengers.
Oh, that finale is so good.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious.
Maybe not anymore, but...
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it sounds good on paper, but I'm so curious to what... Because that'll be the first time in a long time I've watched that finale.
God, it blew my mind as a kid. I was like, yo, what?
They were all together. Yeah, cool. Yeah. But we won't spoil any of that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let us know if you'd like this, and we'll keep doing it. I think we'll definitely at least keep doing the next couple seasons, but it'll be great to do it the whole way through the show, I think.
I think we can do it. I mean, it's only 4 more episodes of the show.
Of the pod.
I mean, it's 4 more seasons to watch, but we'll experiment. We'll do Sherlock if you guys want it, and
anything else. I'd love to do Broadchurch as well, because I'd love to revisit that.
Well, that would be great, because when it connects with Doctor Who writers and stuff, and
that's the crossover. Because we sort of pitched this like we want to do all the Doctor Who connections. Yeah, but there's not really a lot. Like there's no. Like Sherlock, it's Mark Gatiss, Stephen Moffat, but then like Broadchurch, it's Chibnall and stuff. Whereas this is like very much its own thing. There's a little bit of some directors and writers, Sarah Dollard writing webisodes, crossing over.
It's the crossover that gets it right.
Too right, guys. We've been recording. We've just done 2.5 hours worth of podcasting because we recorded
10:30.
this. We recorded this after our Series 11 ranking that came out on Sunday, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already. Okay. But yeah, I think it's time we call it a day and we go watch the Scrubs reunion.
I might not watch it. I don't know. We'll see.
Can't do it on my own.
I'm John Dorian. Oh, no, you ain't.
You're Zach fucking Braff.
That's correct.
Love you long time.
Aiden will love it either way. We all know that.
I hope so. Like, I hope that even if it's mid, I hope I come out of it going like, loved it.
You're a bit of a simp for that shit. Come on, Bill. You're a Bill simp.
Bill Lawrence makes the shows I like.
Exactly.
It's Aiden and Carter's podcast. We're doing Primeval reviews.
That feels weird.
Doing Primeval reviews. But it works better than Doctor Who. No, it's the same. It works.
How dare you say that about the original song? Remember you wanted to cut it at one point? You're like, we should get rid of it. It sucks.
Well, when we finished doing the main Doctor Who reviews of the new series, it was like, we want to end.
Put my foot down.
We got to put our foot down on something.
I put my foot down. I said, no, you're not doing that.
And we don't do it every week now.
And I also said no to wearing headphones.
Yeah, no. I did that for like one podcast.
It never works well.
We'll play that intro one last time because that was great fun.
Took a while for us to get it as well.
We've got
to do it. 50% podcast. 50% podcast. How do we know at that time?
That took us like
we did that pretty well. Actually,
took us like 15 minutes to get that right the first time we did it, and now we've done it live.
I didn't even look at you. The last time I was looking at your lips when you were about to sing, but that time I didn't even look.
Perfect,
amazing.
And now I have to. I meant us to sing that, and then the theme, the outro graphic would come up. But now I've got nothing to go into the outro graphic with.